G'day folks, Conor here from C-Dubs Media, back with another video, and today we're doing my full review of the Pixel 7 Pro by Google. Well, I'm just going to put it out there, I am a bit of a fanboy of the Pixel series. I love them, they're my preferred type of device, but I have been using this for 1 month since I got it, so this is an in-depth review. It's not just an armchair review, and these are my findings. And the first thing I do want to talk about is the build and design. Right here, we've got a 6.7 inch device. It is 512 ppi on this Quad HD display. To me, it looks awesome. I love using it. It is also a 120 Hz refresh rate and comes in at IP68. Now we also have on here a fingerprint scanner and face unlock. Now I don't think the fingerprint scanner is that much better than the 6 Pro, but it's definitely better and it's my main way of unlocking the device. I do use the face unlock as well, but I forget it's there a lot of the time because I'm so used to using the fingerprint scanner. But it works pretty well. I'm fairly happy with the face unlock. And now I think the other main thing we're looking at here is on the back we have the visor, and the visor is now aluminium with cutouts for the lenses, and I think this looks much better. It doesn't look as cheap. I think underneath that you'd probably see some pretty cheap manufacturing, but it's covered up nicely by that aluminium. I like it. And as I said, it's 512 ppi and comes in at max brightness of 1500 nuts. Yep, I said it, nuts. So overall, design is really good. I'm happy with it. I think you will be too. My only complaint is that it's too big. I wish it was 6 inches with all this hardware in it, but it's not. Oh, and I should mention, we have Gorilla Glass front and back and aluminium frame, and it's really good, top of the range Gorilla Glass. So it's safe as it can be. Look, now I'm going to talk about the software. And for me, this is the main reason I get this device. I don't get this device for the cameras, really, even though they're amazing. I get it for the software. My Pixel experience, my Android experience, I love it. And this is the main features for me. So we have the translation, which is pretty cool. You can take a photo of something, it'll translate it. Point your camera at it, it'll translate it. You can speak one language into it, it'll translate to another. That is a really cool feature. It does it in real time, it does it through the device. You don't actually need to be connected. Then we also have the transcribing, where it actually reads to you what's coming through a podcast or through a video that's playing through your device. And then we also have the voice-to-text note-taking, which is amazing. So you can press record and talk to it, and it will write down what you're saying. So great if you're brainstorming ideas with people or even with yourself, and you're talking and your device is taking these notes. It knows better punctuation than I do, and I find it really helpful. And I think I should mention a couple of other main features for me with the software that I really love, and it is that it's customizable. It's not over the top, so you can add your own themes and change the wallpapers and add your own icons or theme the icons according to your wallpaper. And this is like getting better over time, and I think it's subtle but effective. And I don't have any problems with the software. I really don't. I think it is problem-free. Now, I just want to point out, these are the main key features for the software for me. I'm reading my notes here because I'll go off on a tangent if I don't. Double tap the back of the device to open any app. That's pretty cool. So I have it set to YouTube Studio because that's my main app that I use. I'm always in there. So double tap the device, it opens up YouTube Studio for me. Then we also have flip to shush. So if I'm somewhere and I don't want my phone to ring, I just turn it upside down and it's in do not disturb mode, and it will stay like that until I turn it over again. So that's pretty awesome. That's better than having an alert slider or a whatever slider on the side of your device. Just flip it over and it shushes. Then there's another one which I really love, and I went out for lunch the other day with a couple of guys and we were sitting around talking, and someone was talking about how their phone, which isn't a Pixel phone, uses some app to recognize the music that's playing. And I just glanced down at mine and it's on my display. I don't need to have an app on. I don't need to get my phone and unlock it and check it. It's just right there on the lock screen what song's playing. People don't know about the Pixel. And I think another feature that I love using is putting people on hold. So I had to ring up an insurance company recently, and it said I was like number 7 in the queue. I just put them on hold. I forgot they were there. I was working, doing my day job, taking calls, writing emails, and then my phone started beeping. I picked it up and I said, "Oh, hey, it's Connor." And they said, why was I talking to Google services? And I said, "Oh, my phone put you on hold and just lets me know when you're ready to talk to me." And the lady was quite shocked. And so I just said, "Hey, you might want to check out the Pixel phone for your next upgrade." And I think those little situations, you can't get that on other devices. And for me, that's why I have the Pixel phone. Now, there's another couple of little secret features that I do like using. One is like saving photos from your camera straight to your locked folder, and here's an example of how you would change that. And also, you can also hold your finger down on the camera shutter to record video. You don't have to switch in and out of video and camera mode. That's pretty cool as well for just doing those quick reels or stories that you want to share on social media. All right, now I'm going to talk about the camera. We have the 50 megapixel main sensor, 12 megapixel ultra wide sensor, and then the 48 megapixel telephoto. Now, these cameras are amazing. I do love them, but I do think the telephoto falls apart pretty quickly. I mean, you've got to have the perfect situation for the telephoto to give you good photos, or you've got to spend some time getting that good photo. But when it works, it's pretty surprising. But the main shooter, which is 50 megapixel wide angle lens, amazing photos 99% of the time. It can struggle a little bit in low light, like any camera anywhere, but for the most part, I'm always happy with the photos that come out of the Pixel 7 Pro. But the pictures are really sharp. I think the computational side of it is mind-blowing. You think you take a photo and it's editing it while it's saving it to your phone. So you don't really have to do anything. You just take the photo, it does it all for you. That's pretty incredible. Now, you also have macro focus on this camera now. I think it's a bit of a gimmick, dare I say it, but it's there. And then we also have the after photo features where you can remove objects from your pictures, and sometimes you cannot even tell that those objects were there in the first place. Then you also have refocus mode, so you can take a photo. If someone's out of focus, it will adjust the focus and bring them back into focus. It's a little bit hit and miss at the moment, but you don't have it anywhere else. Now, for the camera, I do have some complaints. You have cinematic mode, which is 24 frames per second, but it is hit and miss. If you're doing like parallax shots and stuff like that, it's going to look really bad. But if you're just sitting there stationary doing something, it can look pretty good. Then you have up to 4K 60, and it overheats really quickly. So I'm recording in 4K 60. I just did a 3-minute clip, and it's telling me that it might stop recording quickly because the device is too hot. So there's your limit. It's 3 minutes and 26-degree temperatures in the shade. So that's a disappointment. The Pixel 6 Pro had the same problem. I'm not down with 3 minutes of video and then have to let it cool down for half an hour. So 27 degrees in Australia, filming outside in the middle of the day. I was in the shade and it didn't last longer than 5 minutes. At 5 minutes, I started losing features within the camera app. And then it said it's just too hot. It needs to stop working. So that really sucks. And I did have that problem with the 6 Pro. I put that in my review as well. So if video is your thing, you really might not want to get this because it does overheat. But the 4K 60 looks really good. The front-facing camera looks pretty good as well. It's 4K 30. I'm really happy with that. I just wish it didn't overheat. But overall, you can see through all these photos that it does an amazing job. The best camera for photography in a smartphone, hands down. I'm going to talk about performance. We have 12 gigs of RAM, the G2 Tensor chip. I have 128 gigs of storage. Now, I can't really fault the performance of this device. I know I just mentioned that it overheats when recording video. However, when I'm doing multitasking, gaming, creating content, watching content, I don't have any hiccups. I can jump from one to the other or do two things at once through the split screen, and it works really, really well for me. Now, I'm a pretty heavy user. I use this phone for everything, and I really struggle to trip it up. And I know Geekbench doesn't really reflect that, but for me, the performance, it's definitely where it needs to be. It's as good as Apple. It's as good as Samsung. I'm very happy with the performance. Battery life. We have 72-hour extreme battery saver. I am too anxious to test out a phone for 72 hours on extreme battery saver. I mean, I use it too much. I can't use it in extreme battery saver mode, but I do easily get a day's use out of it. I think there's a few days there where I used the camera and video extensively throughout the day, and I was getting pretty low at around 3, 4 p.m. So I put it on just normal battery saver. And then by the time I got home at like 9 p.m. at night, I had 20% left or something like that. Like it was pretty close to 20%. So I do think that you're going to get through a full day. You will have to manage your battery if you're an extremely heavy user. On the days that I don't have access to a charger, I still get through one full day. For some reason, it's 3 milliamp hour less than last year's battery. I don't know why they shaved off 3 milliamp. And the biggest battery drainer is when you're recording video and doing photography. So that's pretty much my review of the Pixel 7 Pro. I've got to tell you, it is, for me, the best bang for buck phone you can get. It matches in every way Apple and Samsung on their flagship level. It easily matches them and exceeds them in some ways. Like, it's definitely the best camera for photography out of the big players. For me, the software is the best out of the big players, and the assistant is the best out of the big players. They've got my money. I'm forking out for the Pixel. I use the 6A for work now. That is my daily driver for work. So that's just like calls and emails and Teams and stuff like that. And then I use the 7 Pro for living, which is everything else. So gaming, communicating with friends and family, video calls, photography, videography, all that stuff, the Pixel 7 Pro. I'm in the ecosystem, and you cannot beat the Pixel 7 Pro for the price. Thank you all for watching, and I will catch you in my next video. Check ya.